Hello ladies and gentlemen, Teveron here and welcome back to some more Magic Arena gameplay. Today we're going to be revisiting a deck that we played pre-rotation that's still in a competitive position right now. Some of the cards have changed, but the overall plan remains intact. We want to play a tempo game, resolving some early evasive threats and then stalling the opponent's own game plan long enough to deal lethal damage. The best part about this list though is how inexpensive it is to assemble. There are only 6 rares in the decks and no mythics. The rest is all commons and uncommons, so if you're looking for a cheap way to play competitively, then this deck is definitely a great option. I'm unsure who pioneered this particular build of the deck, but it seems to be the general consensus that the list you see on your screen is the way to go with it. Almost every list I can find is this exact list. So let's take a more in-depth look at the cards we're running. We'll start with the card that the deck most wants to see in every opening hand, Curious Obsession. This allows us to continually outdraw the opponent while putting a clock on their life total, fueling our tempo cards to delay them, allowing us to further increase pressure and generally just snowball our way to victory. It's still possible to win games without this card, but much more difficult. So, what are the creatures available to carry this enchantment? In the 1-drop slot, we have Mistcloaked Herald and Siren Stormtamer. Great evasive threats, with the Herald being our best target for a Curious Obsession, since it can get in every turn unimpeded. Stormtamer also serves the additional purpose of being a protection spell to keep opposing removal from killing our other creatures, and is a card that is so in demand right now that the paper versions of this card, an uncommon mind you, have surged to almost $5 each. Luckily though, on Arena, they only cost an uncommon wild card, just like every other uncommon. Next up, we have our 2-drops, Merfolk Trickster, Nightveil Sprite, and Warkite Marauder. Trickster allows us to force through additional damage or prevent an opposing creature from attacking us as necessary, while the Sprite and Marauder provide additional evasive bodies with a bit of upside. The Sprite can filter the top of our deck to help us continue to draw relevant cards, and Marauder can ground an opposing flying creature or stop a creature with reach from being able to block flyers. And then we have a couple of Exclusion Mage to slow down the opponent even further. Bouncing a creature while adding a body to the board is just about the epitome of what tempo is all about. And finally, we have our heavy hitters, Tempest Gens, providing an incredibly quick clock and dodging quite a bit of removal thanks to its 4 toughness. Then we have our non-creature spells, Chart a Course to draw us cards, and in this deck, you very rarely have to discard one, as we want to be attacking every turn if possible. And our Disruptive Suite, Dive Down, Spell Pierce, and Essence Scatter to prevent our opponents from removing our threats and also hinder them in deploying their own. And last but certainly not least, Wizard's Retort allows us to say no to almost anything and often only costing us 2 mana to do so. Toss in 21 islands and our main deck is complete. In the sideboard we have Sentinel Totem to help combat graveyard shenanigans. Diamond Mare mainly for red decks to help keep us from getting burned out. Sleep for creature-heavy strategies, especially green-based ones. A lot of the time tapping down the opponent's creatures for 2 turns will just win us the game. And our suite of additional counter magic to bring in as necessary: Syncopate, Negate, and Disdainful Stroke. And that, my friends, is the deck list. Now on to the gameplay. Okay, this is an excellent hand. We've got Herald into Curious Obsession, which if it doesn't die, should just carry us for the whole game. Let's hope that's the case. We would like to draw things to protect this combo. Dive Down, Spell Pierce, Siren Stormtamer, something of that nature. But we can't play scared. If they've got removal, they've got removal, so we'll just run our stuff out. So green, unless they're splashing another color, they probably won't have removal next turn, so let's get attacking and drawing cards. Yes, we do. Well, land there is not what we were after. So they are running black. This could be a more mid-rangey deck. Find and Finality. Well, they milled that. Okay, they're a graveyard-based Golgari deck, it looks like. Dive down, that is the ticket. That's what we wanted to see. Let's get in there. Mistcloak Herald can just continue to pound into the opponent's face as we go. So we'll hold up Dive Down and plan to flash in Merfolk Trickster to prevent Jade Light Ranger from attacking this turn. Sure. Not that we can actually stop that. Yeah. Those things just kind of loop each other. Yeah, let's not get attacked for 4, please. And we'll come over to our side. We will Curious Obsession on our Mistcloaked Herald. And go attacking. Draw 2 cards now. Well, an island, something not land, another Curious Obsession. Alright, so we could Tempest Djinn, but again, I want to hold up Dive Down, so we're just going to pass. Another Ranger, you got it. Alrighty. Yep, milling the elves over. So we're probably going to chump this turn, just to keep our life total high. They are getting more creatures out than we are. No thank you. They did do that in a smart way, though, making us spend our mana during our own turn. Just draw some cards. Wizard Retort. Siren Stormtamer. Okay, so again, we're not going to go with Djinn, even though it is a big threat. We still want to protect our Mistcloaked Herald, so we'll go with Siren Stormtamer and hold up Trickster / Wizard's Retort. Alright, we are going to go ahead and Trickster and tap down their biggest threat. And see, we can attack for 3, 4, 5, 6. Take 6 ourselves. Yeah, we're not going to block this time. Which they have this thing in hand. So maybe we aren't going to be attacking. Well, now I am super glad we didn't block. We'll say goodbye to the Trickster. And let's get in there. See, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they have exactly lethal on their side. But we are going to be playing some blockers. We are drawing a lot of lands this time. That's even with this deck only running 21 of them. And we will pass the turn. And opponent has had enough. So that was kind of close. We did get out ahead of them, so that was good. Sleep seems excellent versus what they're doing here. So we want to bring that in. Don't know about Disdainful Stroke. The only 4 drops we saw were the recursive Golgari things. I think we may want to just cut Chartacourses, since they're a little slow, and see how that goes. No lands. We cannot keep this hand. That's a bit better. Unfortunately, no Curious Obsession, so this game is almost certainly going to be harder. Another Wizard's Retort, sure. Yep, first turn elf, great for the opponent. Into Jade Light. That's exactly what they want to be doing, that's for certain. Dead weight. That seems good for him too. So, Warkite Marauders almost certainly going to eat that dead weight here. Yep, there we go. Oh no, they milled the dead weight. They had another one in hand. Never mind. Alright, let's Exclusion Mage. And we're going to bounce the Llanowar Elves instead of the Jade Light Ranger. I'd rather them not get 2 more Explorers. Yep, there's the Elves back. And we're not going to block. Curious Obsession, that's what we wanted to see. And this is a wizard, so Wizard's Retort is online at the lower cost. Protect that thing, please. See if they're willing to block with their elves. Looks like they are. We're in the market to be countering, that is for certain. And they hold back to block. Well then, we are just going to play our Night Veil Sprite and pass. We would like for our Exclusion Mage not to die. Except, if we don't attack, we lose the Curious Obsession, so might as well get in there. And Vraska. That is sad. We cannot retort. This is not a wizard. Sorry, brain kind of went on neutral there. We'll pass the turn. Alright, we're going to start sacking their lands to draw some cards. Branchwalker will say no to that. At this point, we really can't let them get a board presence, if we can help it. Merfolk Trickster. Alright, let's pass the turn. Continuing to get rid of those lands. Alright, looks like they don't have anything. Let's flash in Trickster. Now we can start pressuring Vraska. We'll say no to that too. Unfortunately, her plus is big enough that they can just keep doing it. Well, I think we have to attack Vraska. At this point, we're not really making any headway there.
Its pain is our gain.
Chupacabra. Yeah, that feels like we have just lost the game. Essence Scatter. We'll give it one more turn. This is the downside of playing this deck, is once you get behind, it's really hard to come back. The deck has a great... Yep, bye-bye Essence Scatter. The deck is great at playing from equal or ahead and staying there. Less so at playing from behind. Yep, that is the game. Good game, my friend. Think we're just going to resubmit and hope for a bit better draw. Alright, if we had a Curious Obsession, this would be an auto keep. As it is with just one land, I don't think we can. Alright, this is kind of the opposite, but we're going to try it. Storm Tamer, that's what we wanted to see. Yep, elves. The They have had Llanowar first turn every game, which is exactly what they want. We'll pass the turn, hold up, dive down. Ranger. Same thing, elves into ranger. Yeah. We're going to be needing this dive down with that spider on top. Let's Curious Obsession. And get in there. Land, please. Alrighty, we'll be passing the turn then. We'll dive down. And they have Assassin's Trophy. That's very, very bad for us. Except we do get an island to cast our Tempest Gen. Hopefully they don't have another piece of removal. Alright, another island's not bad, honestly. Let's go for Tempest Gen. And pass the turn. If this lives and we get to Curious Obsession while holding up Counter Magic, then we may be in okay shape. Though they are getting a ton of power onto the board. Lands that time. And Branchwalker too. Yep. Yeah, we cannot afford to be blocking that, unfortunately. See, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have exactly lethal. Don't think we're going to be winning this game. So let's just pass the turn. We cannot afford to attack. We would have to draw something to make sure to be able to mitigate some damage. We're going to say no to that. Yep, can't afford to block it. And now they have lethal even if we block this. So about the only thing that we can do is Curious Obsession and hope to draw something like Sleep or a Merfolk Trickster. Well, they did block, so that helps. Except we are dead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, good game, my friend. Forgot that the spider had a reach. Oh well, we weren't winning that game if we didn't attack. Yeah, this is the kind of hand we want. Let's keep it. Go Storm Tamer, see what the opponent's up to. Alright, maybe Celestia tokens. Go ahead and start drawing some cards here. Wizard's Retort, okay. We'll be able to hold up some interaction next turn. Green Seeker. Don't really care too much about that. Another Storm Tamer. Yeah, let's get that out onto the board. Get a little bit more pressure while still holding up our Counter Magic. Knight of Autumn. Let's say no. Try to out-tempo our opponent here. That's the name of the game for us. See what we get. A Herald. I think we're just going to pass here. We can hold up both Trickster and Wizard's Retort or 2 retorts. Green Seeker, sure. Gotta land that time. No. No Ajani for you, my friend.
I will fight on.
Flash in our Trickster, get a little bit more pressure down. Sprite, sure. Land, please. Not a land. But opponent has had enough. So I'm not really sure what we want versus what they're doing. I'm tempted to just hit resubmit and play with the main deck as it is. The only thing that I'm tempted to bring in is again Sleep, which is pretty good against basically any base green deck. Let's bring in Sleep, but this time we are going to cut the Night Veil sprites instead of the Chart of Courses. Alright, no Curious Obsession, but this hand is still okay, so we'll keep it. We got lots of flyers, and hopefully opponent doesn't have the ability to block flyers. We also got Exclusion Mage to sort of slow them down. I think Mist-Cloaked Herald is a better first turn play than Siren Storm Tamer. Alright, Green Seeker again. We'll go ahead and play out Marauder. Get in there. Alright, looking for a land. Looks like they found it. Jade Light. Alright, got a land, Thorn Lieutenant on top, which they mill. I think we just want to go big at this point, so Tempest Djinn. And swing in for 3. Sure, doesn't really matter what we target. Alright, still digging for lands. Another Tranquil Expanse. Conclave Tribunal. Well, goodbye to Tempest Djinn. Unfortunately, Exclusion Mage cannot bounce that thing. Let's go ahead and Exclusion Mage. We'll bounce their Green Seeker. Lay out Storm Tamer too. Just continue to apply the pressure. Alright, Knight of Autumn. Do you want big or do you want life gain? You want it to be big. We'll trade that. The Exclusion Mage is not really getting in to do damage. Sleep. That's kind of our trump card. Don't think we want to play it yet, though. In all honesty, we may end up not even needing it this game, but we have it available if we do. Thrashing Brontodon, sure. Rabid Bite. Let's go ahead and counter that. Would rather lose my Storm Tamer than my Warkite Marauder. Taking 4. 3 more attacks and we've got this. They've got 7. Hit them for 3. Next turn we may end up sleeping. That is, if they don't kill us out of nowhere here. Another Brontodon. And there's the Green Seeker. Right, we're down to 6. Okay, so sleep. Then we've got Tempest Djinn, and that should be the game. Conclave Tribunal, that's not going to do it. You need one more removal spell. Sure, take our Mist-Cloaked Herald. Nullhide Ferox. And good game, opponent. Yeah, we will take this hand. Again, always wanting a Curious Obsession, but unfortunately you can't always have a Curious Obsession. Mist-Cloaked Herald's going to let us poke in every turn if it doesn't die. Looks like we're up against green again. Another Herald. Interesting. I think we want to put a stop on their upkeep here. We're going to attack. We're going to flash in our Trickster on their upkeep to tap down their elves, so that they can't make a 3-drop this turn. Alright, still had a druid. Maybe mono green. Let's go attacking. No use to attack with the Trickster. We could hold up Wizard's Retort here, but I think I'd rather just get Tempest Gen online. So they could play a 5-drop here. Both of these are mana dorks. Thrashing Brontodon. Don't really care too much about that, or the other druid. Island. Think we're going to go Mistcloaked Herald this time and hold up Wizard's Retort. Get in there with our things they can't block and pass it back. Another Brontodon. Sure. Galta. No. I can handle the little dinosaur. The big one, less so. No blocks. Alrighty. Not the perfect draw, but we have a ton of power on the board, so let's get aggressive. And I don't really think they're going to be able to get out of this. They may have access to a fog, I don't know, otherwise they're just dead here. Well, they're just dead here. Alright, same thing versus these green decks. Let's bring in Sleeps and take out Night Veil Sprites. I think I like that better than taking out the Charta Courses. Okay, again, we're perfectly fine with this hand. We've got a great little curve here, leading off with elves from the opponent. Wizard's Retort's fine as well. Storm Tamer's going to enter the fray. Well, looks like the spider's going to eat our Storm Tamer. That is sad. Alrighty, guess it's up to, well, do we go Marauder or do we go Trickster? I think we'll go Trickster, and we'll do it on the upkeep to tap their elf again. Trying to slow down their mana production here a bit. Sure. If you don't have an instant to play, there's really no use tapping that elf for green mana, opponent. Alright, we're going to take this turn. Next turn, we can have access to dive down to kind of block and live. Go for Marauder. And we'll swing for 2. Alright, Spider's coming in. Alright, despite saying we had dive down, I'm not going to block here. We'll just take this. We'll win this race overall. Still Leaf Champion. Well, wish we had Wizard's Retort up. That is not great for us. And drawing lands is even less great. So we can't block that thing. We probably want to block the spider this time then. Get in there. I guess we'll turn that into an 0-1 if it will take my click. And end the turn. Alright, can't really stop that Still Leaf Champion. We are going to block the spider. And dive down. Still doesn't deal with Still Leaf Champion, unfortunately. we'll say no to the Ferox. And that's just a little too much beef on the board. Miscloaked Herald. So they've got a 2-turn clock here. And we can't block this no matter what, so there's no use to do anything but just play out our hand and swing in and hope to draw something. Sleep would be good. Exclusion Mage would be fine too. Well, there's another Ferox. We'll take our lumps. And lose the game. Good game, my friend. So there is an argument maybe for bringing in Syncopates here. The opponent doesn't seem to be running a lot of instants and sorceries, so maybe Spell Pierce can afford to come out. We can bring in a couple of Syncopates, which will give us a few more reactionary answers to their big threats. We'll try that. Yep, I think we'll keep this. I only have the one creature, but the rest of these cards are quite good, especially Sleep, if we can actually get to the point where it will do something to win us the game. We'll flash in Trickster, I suppose. We could Chart a Course, but I would rather do that after attacking so we get to keep both the cards. Tap that down. We drew a land. That's kind of what we wanted. Let's get in there. So, I think we'll Chart a Course here. This will stop us from holding up Wizard's Retort, but we do have Exclusion Mage if they draw something horrible in play at this turn. Like a Nullhide Ferox. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana to actually pay its thing and target it this turn. So, I think what we want to do is hold up our counter magic and then go for Exclusion Mage next turn. Either that or maybe Sleep, just depending. Especially since they'd just be able to recast it, since we wouldn't be able to hold up Essence Scatter. Elves? Sure. You got an Elves? We are going to take 6. And we will scatter that Brontodon. Tempest Djinn. Alrighty. I think we're going to sleep here. It does kind of leave us open. We could just Exclusion Mage and bounce, say, Druid of the Cow, which would allow us to hold up Wizard's Retort, and then we can sleep after that. Or we could Tempest Djinn. I think we're going to Tempest Djinn. I think we're going to have to play a little bit of chicken here. Think we're going to get Feroxed again. Yep. We are going to, oops, not pass the turn. Say no blockers. Down to 8. Another Brontodon. I think that's okay. Would really like to draw another mana this turn. Yep. That's a lot of dinosaurs. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Let's cast Sleep. Now we've got a 2-turn clock. They're tapped out. We've got a counterspell up. And hopefully that's enough. Alright, looks like they don't have anything. Okay. Nope. Could have also used the dive down. And that's the game. Yes, please. This is the kind of hand we like to see. Go Storm Tamer. Though just depending, we may actually just play out another creature next turn. Ooh, looks like we're up against a mirror. Never mind then. We're going all in. Let's draw some cards, shall we? Island. And Exclusion Mage. That is excellent if they suit up their Mistcloaked Herald with a Curious Obsession. That is if they don't also have a dive down, but it looks like they don't have a Curious Obsession. Alrighty then. We'll go land, go to attacks. Merfolk Trickster. Well, that is indeed unfortunate. We're going to lose our Curious Obsessions because we're not able to attack. Let's go ahead and Exclusion Mage and bounce that Mistcloaked Herald. Yep. Nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. Alright, Storm Tamer of their own. Into the Herald that we bounced. So I wonder if they're going to be willing to trade stuff off here. Let's play out our island and go attacking. Looks like they are not. Alrighty, well, we'll go for Night Veil Sprite, as that can block the Storm Tamer just fine. We'll hold up Merfolk Trickster here and pass the turn. Alright, here comes, well, everything but the Storm Tamer, so we'll take it. See what else they got going on. Night Veil Sprite of their own, sure. And we'll try to Trickster. Hopefully they don't have an Essence Scatter. They have a Wizard's Retort, so I mean, at least it wasn't an Essence Scatter, I guess. That's what I asked for. So we can attack. We can still get our Surveil here. They can block with both of those and kill this. We would then kill their Storm Tamer. I think we're probably better off just swinging with the Exclusion Mage. That will also allow us to play out Tempest Djinn and have Storm Tamer up to protect it. So let's do that. And end the turn. Alright, looks like they want to Surveil. They could have a dive down to keep their Sprite from dying. We're going to try to kill it anyway. Looks like they didn't. Another Herald. And no gen for them, so that's good for us. Let's go to attacks. We'll attack with Gen and Night Veil Sprite. We'll swing with Exclusion Mage too. Hold our Storm Tamer back. Don't want it to die. It is our insurance policy. Yeah, we'll put that in the graveyard for protecting our Tempest Gen, as that's a big clock for us. It looks like they're chumping and trading. That seems to be in our favor. We're going to attempt to chart a course here. Looks like that resolved. Awesome. We'll pass the turn. Alright, they might as well attack. They're not blocking with those heralds. 13. We've got a 2-turn clock on the board at present. Don't think we'll flash in Trickster, as that would let our shields down. Warkite Marauder's fine. We'll get in there again. Island. I wouldn't mind having another island. We'll leave that on top. Trickster. So they can put something on the ground and then block it. We'll see what they're going after. The Gen. No, I think we'll have you not do that. I would like to hit you for 4, please. And that's the game. Alright, I'm uncertain what's going to be good in the mirror. This is something that I haven't actually played after rotation here. I imagine that Sleep would still be a fine card. That is, if we can avoid getting it counterspelled. Diamond Mare could also be a consideration, just for racing purposes. If we could gain a little bit of life, we could win a race. The thing is, I'm uncertain what we would want to cut. Perhaps Exclusion Mage is not great, though it does help us get Curious Obsessions off of things. Maybe we just want to resubmit as it is. I think we're going to bring in Sleeps. The thing is, I don't know what to cut to do that. We're going to cut Warkite Marauders, I think. See how that works out for us. Okay. This is a very risky hand if we keep it. We do have 2 1-drops. No Curious Obsession to help us draw into more lands, though. The thing is, if we do draw into more lands, this hand is just great. I think we're going to risk it. We're on the draw. We get an extra look to find a land. If we don't, we're probably just going to roll over and die, but I think it's worth the risk, especially being up a game. Well, looks like we got rewarded. Go ahead and Mistcloaked Herald here. The thing is, we may want to hold up Essence Scatter starting next turn. I think we actually do want to do that. Yep. That's one of the reasons. That could blink this thing's abilities, and then it could block and eat it. No Tempest Gen one time. Damn it. Well, we have Tempest Gens of our own, I suppose. So let's go ahead and put that out on the board. Keep on swinging with the Herald. We will not be blocking. That is not a chump I'm looking to make. Got another Gen. We do too. What we don't want is for them to have a Spell Pierce here. We can have Dive Down to have ours live. They could choose just to not block, thinking they've got a much faster clock than us, though. Looks like that's what they're doing. We're going to go with another gen. And past the turn, we want to hold up Dive Down to protect our stuff. Storm Tamer, sure. So now they have a thing to protect their stuff. Are you coming? Looks like they are not. Okay. Trickster's good. See, we have enough to play all of this. Let's play out Storm Tamer pre-combat. Alright, that resolves. That's good for us. So depending on what interaction they have here, we could be blowing them out significantly here, or getting blown out ourselves. We are going to attack with everything. There is the possibility that we can kill both of their gens this turn, because Merfolk Trickster will take the power away from whatever gen they block with there. So we'll try for the Trickster first. Okay, they're going to Essence Scatter. Let's hope they don't also have a Spell Pierce. We'll try to dive down here. They do have a Spell Pierce. Alright. That is unfortunate. So, trading off gens. That seems kinda neutral. I mean, we're winning the race as it is, but who knows what that last card is and what they're going to draw. Alright, opponent thought about attacking, then decided not to. Wizard's Retort is good. We are going to attack. If they're in the market to trade, then that's fine. Alright. We have an 11-turn clock on the board. Well, they are drawing lands. Probably have some counter spells in hand. Of course, we do too. Hopefully we can stop whatever they draw that can put a clock on the board. Unfortunately, this is not a wizard, so these are full cost. Yeah, Mistcloaked Herald's fine. We are ahead in the damage race already. There we go. Now we can cast both our Wizard's Retort in the same turn. Yep, looks like we're just exchanging blows. Warkite Marauder. Let's say no to that one. Alright, they have one of their own. We'll say no again. Now, our shields are completely down, but then again, so are theirs. We drew a counterspell. Would actually have much rather drawn something that can do a little bit of damage. As it is, we're just kind of pecking away, hoping to get there. Diamond Mare. Well, they thought Diamond Mare was worth bringing in. Let's try to say no to that one too. Good deal. Sprite. Well, hopefully they don't have a counter spell for that. If they do, it's definitely Essence Scatter, I think. Otherwise, they would have countered our Wizard's Retort last turn. And opponent has had enough. Yeah. It's a super great hand. Unfortunately, we can't really play without mana, so ship it back. That's a bit better, I suppose. Don't think we want a fourth island with what we've got going on here. Alright, black-green. Get our Warkite Marauder onto the battlefield. We drew a fourth island anyway, despite scrying one to the bottom. Glowspore Shaman. Looks like they are graveyard strategy here. Let's see. Raiders, Ranger, Chupacabra. Okay. Well, let's go attacking. And we'll plan on flashing in Trickster here. Well, they're going straight to attack, so let's not get hit in the face for 3. Plague Crafter. Alright, I guess we'll sack our Trickster. Curious Obsession. Excellent. Let's draw some relevant stuff, please. Essence Scatter, that is kind of what I was hoping for. So we can stop Chupacabras and such. Do we want to stop Jade Light Ranger? Probably want to stop Jade Light Ranger. Alrighty, if things keep on as we are, we're going to win this game. Fortunately, we're drawing a ton of lands. Something relevant? I mean, that's a thing. Can hedge us for another Plague Crafter. Yep, doesn't stop Chupacabra, though. That is unfortunate. Yep, no block. Dive down. Why couldn't we draw you last turn? Well, no reason to sit back. We're not going to block. These black-green decks seem to be kind of a poor matchup for us. They're able to put a significant clock on the board while also killing our things. Memorial to Folly on top, okay. Alright, Merfolk Branchwalker, can't really do anything about it. They're gonna draw that. Yep. We'll take 5, go into 9, and I think we've lost this game. Almost certainly. So now we kinda have to block. Let's pass the turn. Yep, we will block this Shaman. And I think we'll dive down. Keep our Herald around, or try to. Down to 2. We need something significant. Let's not let that happen. Thank you very much. Trickster, that can keep us alive. So let's pass the turn. At least potentially it can keep us alive. We'll tap the Chupacabra. Alright, we'll trade off. Unfortunately, they have Memorials to Folly, so something's able to come back. Or they can just play a huge Molder Hulk. Yep. And that is the game. Good game, my friend. Alright, against the graveyard strategy there, a lot of things seem good. Sentinel Totem seems fine. Syncopate actually seems good, as does Sleep, just like versus all the other green decks. Spell Pierce actually seems a little worse here. It did stop that reanimation spell, but a lot of their removal is creature-based. I think what we're going to do is cut Chart a Courses. We're going to cut Spell Pierces. Then we're going to bring in Sleeps for sure. We're also going to bring in Sentinel Totems. Just wondering if we should bring in some number of Syncopates. Our time is running out here as I'm trying to figure this out. Perhaps Warkite Marauder's not great. Let's cut that and bring in 2 Syncopates, and we'll see how that does. Disdainful Stroke's also a consideration, but there wasn't a ton of things for or more cost that we saw. The Molder Hulk and the reanimation spell. I don't know if that's enough to justify. That's a great hand if we can keep our Herald alive. Well, opponent mulligan to 6. So that bodes a little bit better for us. We'll go Herald. We would like to draw a Dive Down. We didn't get it, unfortunately. That's not going to stop us from getting in there, though. No, still no Dive Down, so we'll play out another Herald. Unblockable stuff seems quite good. Low Spore Shaman, that's fine. Now I think we want to hold up counter spells just to keep our stuff alive. Storm Tamer. That's interesting. Yeah, let's play out Storm Tamer. That way we have access to it or a Syncopate. No blocks. Jade Light. We will Syncopate that for 1. Netherland. Kind of what the doctor ordered. Alright, well, it's Jin for sure. That allows us to hold up Storm Tamer. And that's enough for the opponent to scoop it up. Well, Syncopate was good. I don't think we want the third one. Let's just resubmit. Yeah, we cannot keep this, unfortunately. Oh dear. Even worse. Well, guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. No thank you. An island would be welcome, though. Pelt Collector, okay. So maybe they're a little more aggressive than we thought they were. We did draw an island, so that is something. Branch Walker. Wish we could Syncopate that. Yep, big Pelt Collector, Harpooner on top. They mill that? Okay, I'm a little bit surprised about that. I figured they'd want to keep that, to be honest. Yep, they have a quick clock on the board, that is for certain. Well, we can't stop that either. Unfortunately, they've got mana up to pay for the Syncopate. And we're just going to die. Well, we finally get a land. They are 1 off lethal this turn. I think really the only thing we can do is play Tempest Djinn and hope. Alright, we have to block Pelt Collector, because otherwise it'll get bigger. Okay, well, that is a thing. Alright, so we're not just dead here. Let's pass. We'll Trickster. And tap this down. And they don't attack. Thing is, it looks like it's not going to matter. They attack all out. There's really nothing we can do. But they didn't. Well, we're obligated to block. And we have a little bit more of a reprieve. They are stuck on 2 lands here, I think is our only saving grace. Let's tap down that pelt collector. Curious Obsession. So we could Curious Obsess and attack. Seems real bad. Don't know what we could even draw besides another Trickster that would let us live. Well, I mean a chump blocker, I suppose. Yep, I think we have to pass the turn. You should be attacking here. Guess you're afraid of more Tricksters? We certainly have to block or die. They finally hit their 3rd land. We will definitely be countering pretty much anything they play at this point. And still probably going to die. Yep, we are still going to die. Good game, my friend. Well, that's how it goes sometimes when you're playing card games. Alrighty, 3 and 2, not bad overall. We had some pretty poor draws at times, and also I think the green-black decks may not be the best of matchups for us. Overall though, this deck is competitive. You're not ever going to find any deck that just crushes everything. If that's the case, then there probably needs to be a banning. However, if you're looking for a competitive deck that is relatively cheap on Arena, I highly recommend this one. It only has 6 rares, no mythics, the rest are commons and uncommons, so that's about as cheap as you can get and still have a competitive deck. And as always, there will be a link in the description to an exportable deck list if you would like to try this out for yourselves. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments, and by leaving a like below, it really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Teveron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.